Right, everybody, welcome back to Warhammer Demons. This installment we're going to be taking a look at the Screamers of Tzeentch. They're another special choice in the Warhammer Fantasy Chaos Demon Army list. Some of the more astute people out there might have noticed a new intro screen. Yeah, I got a computer for Christmas, so I'm trying to up the production value of my show. Here in front of you, you see the Screamers of Tzeentch. First off, let's talk about some construction tips. These are flying models, so they come with the flying bases. I have gone ahead and put mine on the 40 mil bases so that I know how much space these guys take up if I line them up for hand-to-hand combat. Another construction tip here is that this point goes into a hole in the bottom of the model. Whenever I'm dealing with flying models, I find a drill bit that approximates this size and drill it out some. Usually I like to clip this nub off and then find a drill bit that's about the size of this and go deeper, but there's not enough material here for me to do that, so I have just gone and tried to approximate the standard size. Some of them I can get them on there fairly tight so I can pick them up and move them, some of them not. They still spin around. A little bit of blue tack up there should get them to hold. And also I can, for transportation and storage purposes, then I can pull this off of here and I want to put them away in my miniatures case so that everything stays protected when I'm moving them around. So that's that. These guys, I haven't had a chance to use them yet on the field of battle. I don't like to play with things that aren't painted, and I just got them painted last week. I was supposed to have a game on Sunday, but that didn't really work out. So what I'm going to be discussing here is what we call theory hammer, or closely related to theory hammer is math hammer. For those of you unfamiliar, with the game's Warhammer, so when you're just kind of talking about the game in the abstract and how you think units will do or perform on the battlefield, we call that theory hammer. When you get into looking at their stats and comparing them to other units or average stats, you call that math hammer. An example, like I've got 10 attacks that hit on a 4 or better, so I can figure that 5 of those are going to hit, and then if they wound on a 4 or better as well, that 2.5 of those are going to wound, and if the armor save is a 4 or better, then 1.25 of those are going to be saved, so I can guarantee that I'm going to do one wound. Stuff like that is math hammer. And theory hammer is related to that, because you look at the unit, you look at the stats and how they're going to do. So let's take a look at the Screamers here. These are 30 points a model, and I'm going to find it hard not to continually measure these guys to the Flesh Hounds, which are, as I said in the last installment, the unit that really stands out. These guys are only weapon skill 3. They're toughness 3 with 1 wound, 1 attack. So they're kind of vulnerable considering they're 30 points a model with just toughness 3, 1 wound. Yeah, they got the 5+ ward save. They are a flying unit, so they skirmish. So they're going to be harder to hit there as well. Somebody's shooting at them. But one of the drawbacks to the skirmishing is that if I'm trying to use these guys as flanking troops, if I charge someone in the flank with a skirmishing unit, I'm not going to negate their rank bonus. Now, I can still get the +1 combat resolution bonus for being in the flank if I have a unit strength of 5 or more after combat, but these guys are only unit strength 1 each, and at most I can have 6 of them in a unit, so I don't really think they can be dependent on for a strong flanking role. However, where I think they come into their own, and might sound kind of crazy on this, is using them like a war machine, because they have this special thing called a slashing attack, where if they move across a unit with their flying move, that unit's going to take 1 automatic strength 5 hit for each screamer in the unit. That's right, an automatic strength 5 hit. So you don't need to roll to hit, you just fly over, and you can fly over as many units as the flying movement is going to let you get across. So if you can cover several units at once, you can be doing some hits with these guys. Now obviously if you hit a unit of 30 goblins, it's not going to make that much of a difference, but where I plan on using them is trying to fly over enemy cavalry. If you can fly over a couple other units and some cavalry and then land these guys in your opponent's back line where you might be able to march block. By march block I mean is that if they're within 8 inches of an enemy unit, that unit is not capable of making a march move. So maybe you can knock out a couple of his heavy cav, I don't know. Then put them in, and then just keep flying them across units and hitting him and getting all those free hits. Your opponent's going to have to do something back at you. So that being said, I haven't had a chance to field them. I just have these 6, but already I think I'd like to get a few more because these guys were fun to paint. Paint job here was pretty easy. This guy's got 4 colors on him and a wash. That's all. I think they look all right. And the bases, I'm starting to get with more of my bases. I've taken a lot of flack. I've got the old school, like 1980s looking bases, and now I'm starting to do some more things to them, some rocks and whatnot. So there you have it. The Screamers of Tzeentch. Maybe I'll post some comments if I actually get these guys at the table here soon and can tell you if they stink or if you should run out and buy some.